My name is Sarah Gerhart, and I'm a molecular biology major. I'm a senior, and I work in Dr. Iveen's lab. Basically, Dr. Iveen's lab studies connexin 43, which is a gap junction protein, and basically gap junctions just help in intercellular communication. And she looks at how gap junction communication, especially with connexin 43, has influenced growth and development, specifically in zebrafish fins. One of the big disorders that I know Kathy's research impacts is oculodentodigital dysplasia. It's like a big word, but it has a lot to do about bone growth abnormalities, and you might have narrow eyes or just like malformed limbs, as opposed to some of the lab classes where a lot of the stuff is kind of pre-prepared for you, or you just kind of get to do a certain part of it. And like Dr. Iveen's lab, you get to sort of be responsible for the whole process and see it through start to end. So it really helped me like connect the things I learned in lecture with like real life research. I really like that you can be meticulous and organized, and sort of do your own thing, be independent. And so I sort of appreciate like research in its own right.
My name is Kathy Iveen, and I'm an associate professor in biological sciences, and in my research group we are studying the process by which bone size and growth is regulated using the zebrafish fin as a model system. So working with Sarah Gerhart has been especially wonderful for me. Typically, Sarah and I will do an experiment together one time. The next time when she's ready to do it on her own, she will have reviewed her notes ahead of time. She'll talk to me about questions she might have about steps that she doesn't remember quite so well from when we did it together, but then pretty much from that point on, she's able to work very independently in the lab. She's also kind of had her own ongoing project in trying to understand the functional relationship between two proteins that we're interested in the lab, and she has one publication already on a characterization of the interaction of these two proteins.
It was very different from writing a lab report, like we would do in a regular class. And I mean, there were still the same sections with the intro, methods, discussion, but it was just sort of writing at a different level, sort of researching a lot of the background and kind of knowing where your research fits into the field in general, and how like your findings kind of like have a greater significance to what everyone in the field is doing. Next year, I'm going to be staying at Lehigh for my 5th year under the President's Scholar Program, and I hope to continue my lab work, take a few extra classes, and maybe try to get some internships at a local hospital in hopes to eventually apply to grad school or med school.